today. We can be the but him and nothing more. We can be the but him and nothing more. We can be the but him and nothing more. We can be the anything. We can be the but him and nothing more. We can be the but him and nothing more. We can be the but him and nothing more. We can be the anything.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. Dang it! Welcome to another DaraChat. My name is.
There's you a better cue from the top.
And that's what she said. To be honest, but anyway, welcome to another DaraChat. My name is Dara or Dara for short, because Dara mouth is still prevalent, and I can't help you get past the first grade. So there's that too. You can only try so much. It's sort of like okay, Timmy, here you're in first grade. Let's see if you can get through it. Second day in, Timmy quits. It's just life. Life happens like that. Weird way.
That's life. That's what all the people say. Riding high in April, shut down in May.
Beginning of it. Hey, gaming chat, how are you? And yes, of course, I am joined by none other than Tony Stark himself, which is odd because I thought he was out saving the world, and now here he is.
What can I say? I'm a retired superhero, my friend. Retired. Given the state of things that are happening down there in the House of Mouse, you can pretty much assume why. But it's a pleasure to be here.
Right. As far as I know, he just took on another dress and became something else.
Oh. Not wrong there. Not wrong there. I work for a supervillain these days. I'm part of a community called Xanadoom, who is spearheaded and founded by the future ruler of this planet. That's right. His Lordship of the Hollow Earth, Dictor Van Doomcock. Give him a round.
Oh, yeah. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
He's still around. He's still doing his thing, too.
Yeah, because I know he did stuff with Nerdrotic back in the day.
Back when everybody got along. Absolutely.
Well,
back when everybody got along.
Well, yeah, that's true. Stuff can change over time, but that's what I remember from that. And I think there was that thing with She-Hulk, that thing. Yeah, Yeah, that was quite a while ago. But then She-Hulk's no longer around anymore, so there's
Right,
that too.
right.
But yeah, no, so I do this weird thing where I just invite people on and create or not just have discussions about whatever, because honestly, there are so many people out there that it's insane that you don't see it happen a lot more. But it is what it is. Content creation is about what you want to do, not what someone else tells you what to do. Except if they're paying for your paycheck, then maybe that's the difference.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm a paid entertainer. I have a very generous and loving community,
Yeah.
and so I do treat this as work. And I
Oh.
will be sharing a little bit. And I noticed that you got some Rumblers. Hail to the great folks over there on Rumble.
Mhm.
I will get you the link to my Rumble channel before the end of today's program. We're going to
Yeah.
go for about 2 hours ish. I have about 3 hours to play.
Yeah, no,
And,
that's fine. Yeah, as long as you tell me, because I usually tell
mhm,
people, ahead in advance, like if they need to get done by a certain time,
mhm,
you just let me know.
mhm.
Because I don't, I think in the past I used to go for for however long, but then I'm like, well, I do have work tomorrow, so that's kind of like,
Uh,
yeah, I don't think I wanna.
Something that I don't miss.
Yeah, that's why think a lot of
I had
people
a
say,
very cushy job too. I was like $30 an hour job. Funny story
wow,
behind that. We'll go ahead and we'll lead with that.
uh,
Uh, I uh, I used to work for the VA. I was a contractor. Let's just say
nice.
that we played with stationery.
Mm,
We would digitize old files for people that served, from like the Korean and Vietnam
mm,
conflicts and back.
mm,
Sometimes we would get in some stuff that was a little bit more recent, but
yeah,
we were just basically uploading veteran files to to compute to a server,
mm,
Veterans Association of America, and we would just
yeah,
we would do that, and it was a great job. But there was a particular individual who's about 42, 43,
uh,
a gentlemanly fellow that liked to wear a dress and
mm,
cat ears.
mm,
Took one look at my Doomcock shirt and said, "That's insensitive." And
right,
so, basically, long story short,
mm,
there
yeah,
went the good times for the good people. Uh,
yeah.
Coincidentally enough, whenever Trump won the election, he was that Tuesday.
Uh,
He Wednesday, old cat ears walked into that door, had a freak out, and was then subsequently fired and escorted out.
yeah,
My, how the tables turn.
yeah. The karma of justice has, or the justice of karma has turnfold there. But no, that I mean that does kind of suck, to be honest. But I mean, yeah, that I can't imagine the VA is. It's had its own trouble throughout the past.
Well, we were a contractor, so
Yeah.
we weren't dealing with like the logistical crap and having to have the moral decision to compartmentalize funds for a person or not.
Yeah.
Um, we were more or less just a factory, and our product was information, and we had to
Right.
bring up as much information into the server as possible.
Hmm.
But again, it was a wonderful job, but it was a blessing in disguise because after that, I was able to take money that I had saved, a little bit of my retirement,
Right.
and I was able to knuckle down and get this channel up and off the ground. And
Hmm.
I do have a lot of um, a lot of variety shows.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're entertainment programs. Sometimes they're game shows. Sometimes they're talk shows. Sometimes it's talked about pop culture news, movie reviews, watch parties.
Hmm.
We do a little bit of everything there at the home plate.
Yeah.
Uh, but I have brought with me some things that I would normally do on Thursday to hopefully entertain and see, get some of those fellow Rumblers over there because Rumble's going to become active on my end again very, very soon.
Oh, were you on here? Were you on here before, or that just
Oh,
started?
no, no, no. It's just I used to simulcast to Rumble with a show called The Tower After Hours,
Oh.
which was an hour-long interview show where it was very Johnny Carson-esque. It's why
Mm.
I got the band back here, as lazy as they are,
Yeah.
taking care of things.
Right.
But And that, so I was like, what's the deal with airline food? Like all
Yeah.
that good stuff. And then I would bring on a YouTuber or creator, much like you're doing here, but it would be once a week. It was on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And it was simulcast to YouTube as well as Rumble to help, people gain exposure. So like you, I like to hype others up.
Mm-hmm.
I like to bring as many people to the fore as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have to be the change, to quote another creator. His name is Ryan Rogerate. We have to be the change that we want to see in entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that I've followed to the letter for better half of 2 years, almost.
Yeah.
Or we're on to our third year.
Oh, good.
I'm hoping to pick up some YouTube subscribers. I
Yeah.
need 12, and I'll be at 1,500.
Well, congratulations.
1,500.
Mm.
2 years, not too shabby. It's a little above average. It's not great. And there's some people that with their experience, and believe me, I get a lot of advice from a lot of people. And
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, you got to do this, because they'll make a new channel and have 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And I'm just like, showboater.
They can be. Some of them can be. No, because that's where I saw you from was Tommy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know where he met you at, but I know I've had a lot of Tommy's crew on as well. So, but yeah, that's where I kind of met you from. I mean, I've had Tommy on a few times before. He's his own well-oiled machine, as it were.
Yes.
And but he's got a good he's got a lot of knowledge technical wise, that's for sure. But
Man knows how to play the numbers.
yeah, and also he streams other places too. He's not just on one platform as well. As far as I know, he streams 1, 2, 3, 4, probably at least 5 so far. I think I haven't checked.
Partridge in a pear tree.
Just about. Although I'm going for the 5 rings, the 5 golden rings.
5 streaming services, 4 Rumble rants, 3 YouTube chats, 2 Twitch gameplays, and a partridge in a pear tree.
And for some people, Christmas cannot come soon enough. And it's true too, because you see those people do a countdown after it's done. It's like, come on, guys, come on. I get it, it's Christmas, but come on.
It's not Christmas until Hans Gruber becomes a pancake at the front end of the Nakatomi Plaza. Fight me on this.
Well, yeah. Hans Gruber! Look, he's flying. No, I don't think that's flying. I think he's falling with style. Oh, that's not good.
The flying ah! The flying ah! Oh, I love the flying ah!
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen Die Hard, but I know a lot of people do the whole is it Christmas movie or not? Which I don't even. It's just a movie at the end of the day. But I mean, this sort of thing with like, if you've ever heard of, what is it, Nightmare Before Christmas?
Oh,
Right.
I've actually got a parody series of Nightmare Before Christmas songs, but continue.
Nice, yeah. Because that one's a Christmas and Halloween movie, basically.
Yes.
But then again, you'd probably be doing both because it goes between both.
It is 60% Halloween, 40% Christmas.
And the numbers add up. And the judge says you are correct. But yeah, I know that one, and then of course the one with Die Hard. But that's not really many movies I heard of that are argued over, is it a this season or that season movie, which kind of makes sense because it's at the end of the day it's just a movie. But if you enjoy the movie though, that's the difference. That's the key kicker right there. Otherwise, why would movies get paid? Why would movies get made? Why would movies get made if no one liked them?
Well, I don't know. Ask the execs over at Disney. They seem to be figuring out the formula.
You know what? At this point, I still keep getting surprised. Like, okay, so that movie didn't do well, so we're gonna do another one, but it costs more. I'm just like, I think someone's on the inside trying to demise the world land of Disney right there. But
it's called BlackRock, Slick. It's called all those shadow investors, Slick. I don't want to say the word that rhymes with mommy that starts with a C, but it's those kind of investors, Slick.
Well, BlackRock isn't a lot of things, so there'd be a lot of businesses going out if that were the
Greasy,
case.
greasy mitts and their
Well, that yeah, Vanguard.
low hairdos and skinny jeans and nose rings
Hmm.
and a throwback to a partridge in a pear tree.
Not even Christmas yet. Curses.
Oh, expect to be confused, sir. You'll find that I'm only able to do this presentation because I am ultimately and completely what's the word, addled, but confused, most of the time inebriated, and
Mm. Well, like you said, you run a variety show, and
mhm,
that's a what's the best way to describe it? That's an all over sort of place to think. But I mean, I guess I kind of do that too. It's just I don't do variety. It's just I do variety of a different thing, not game shows or whatnot. Which I mean, there's plenty of space out there for. There's actually one creator I heard of called what's his name, Mr. Burger, I think it is. He runs a trivia show. He runs a trivia show
mm.
on Saturdays.
So
Um,
like the kind of trivia games that you go down in a local sports bar and you sit there and get your hot wings and
it's possible. I don't. It's possible. I don't watch it, but I know that he also streams to Rumble as well. But I think he does animation as well and all
mhm.
that sort of stuff. But I do know he does a trivia show because there's another person I had on. Her name's Tiny, and she helps with him with some of the stuff. Oh, she's been on his trivia show a few times. So there's that.
Ah, ah.
Yeah, yeah, yep. And but I've never been on a trivia show, so there's that. But I mean, I've never I've been on a lot
Mhm.
of different no, sorry. I revise that. I've had a lot of different people on, but I've not been invited on many people's show.
Well,
If you
I send you a link every now and then because if anybody wants to give me the light of day, I give everybody a fair shake.
Mhm.
Especially since we're all on the same side here. We're all trying to make it a little bit here on the tubes of the U. We're all trying to get out there and make a name for ourselves, be entertainers in our own special way,
Mhm.
and just make people feel good. That is the most rewarding thing about it. It's not the applause. It's not the fans. It's not about me, as the namesake. It's not about me.
Mhm.
It's about everybody that I meet. It's about making friends and connections and
Mhm.
letting everybody know that there's still a sense of humanity out there,
Yeah.
a sense of camaraderie
Mhm.
as the times become darker and darker
Mhm.
as we go through this wasteland of an entertainment zeitgeist that
Yeah.
has been hitting us for the last 10 years or so. And so it's I can wholeheartedly say that that's
Mhm.
the most rewarding
Right.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's sort of in the vein of why I try to do this too, is because there's not a whole lot of, and you already got enough people talking about the entertainment industry and whatnot, and content creation is what you want to do, not what I want watch, whatever. But it's like I took up this thing because it really didn't see a whole lot of people of who I followed, because like Nerdrotic and DJ Cobra and some other ones and all this stuff, and they're all about the entertainment industry one, and that's great. But I'm just like, where's the conversational part of just talking with other people? Because for me, in doing this and trying to explain my thought, you get it. You after a while, you get people who build up a circle, right? And then they just kind of either go with someone that's in their niche, or they kind of go with someone who raises their status, and it's really just kind of in its area. And then, but for me, I'm trying to not just be a creator only show, because that's that for me feels like a bit of a redundancy when I have the whole world. Oh, not the whole world. Sorry, I apologize. When I have a big chunk of the English speaking part, because I can't speak another
He's got the
language.
whole planet In his hands, the English
Mm.
part of the planet.
Yeah,
In his hands, he thought it was the whole planet. With his hands, but he can't speak Latin. Neither can I.
yeah, or Chinese or all that stuff. But there's so many people out there. It's kind of for me, it's kind of redundant to kind of strain yourself to only. And there's a risk with that. There is a risk with having people who aren't creators on. But I've found that beyond that scope, the reward has been more because you get to learn
You're
a
the
lot of
kind of
things.
feller, and this is coming from the old country boy in me. You're the kind of feller that just likes to sit out on the front porch and you see a random neighbor walk by and you go, "Hey, come here, have a beer. Jaw with me a little." You ain't got nowhere to go, do you? You're the kind of person to sit out on the front porch and just bullshit with whomever stops by. And that's Admiral, son. You got gumption. I like that.
If it were that easy, though, I still have to ask people on. I still have to ask people on. That's a certain thing right there. But no, it's sort of like that. It's like the family at the dinner table, or you go to one of those old diners. You with a friend and you just sit down and eat, or something of that nature. But it's just like there's so many people out there to just stick with a group of people. Kind of shortens that ability to scope out. Not that I know any better, of just explaining what of this and why I do it, more or less.
Absolutely.
Because because I was trying to explain to somebody, and they were saying, "Well, that sounds like an interview." I was like, "No, because in an interview, you're mostly getting asked the questions, not vice
That
versa."
was me. I was like, "So, do you need me to have a point counterpoint set up?"
Oh,
That was me. It's like, so, as somebody who's done interviews, who sat in your seat
mm,
for many creators, I thought to myself, well, maybe I should have counterpoint, and should we set
right,
questions? Because again, the showman in me, the entertainer in me, is like, okay, how are we going to do this
yeah.
and make it seem seamless? So there isn't a lot of ums and uhs and Mr. Senator, it's.
You're a senator? No.
No, Mr. Senator, see, free insurance,
It's never free, Senator. It's never free.
you gotta do better, Senator. You gotta do better. And, but I do have a set list in particular, so whenever you feel prudent, it is your program. I got about, 2 or 3 hours to play. I got a couple songs queued up, a couple characters I can bring on, including a puppet.
Oh.
Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention I dabble with puppets too.
Okay.
Are you a big Alf fan?
Muppets, really.
Muppets? Well, I got a
Yeah.
Kermit. Yeah, I got a Kermit. Yeah, we can bring
How
Kermit.
good is your Kermit though?
It depends. How good is your Kermit?
It's not bad, but I can do better.
Yeah, I get it.
The Kermit off of the century this
That's
summer.
right. Yeah.
Well,
Why are there so many shows with a walk? Why do they ruin the vibe? Can you talk like Kermit? Yeah, with in key and register.
and the funny thing is, though, trying to do Kermit voices, either you're trying to do a Jim Henson or Steve Whitmire or whoever is in
I go
charge.
for Henson. I go for Henson when I channel my Kermit.
Yeah, because you always tell there's a little difference, but it just varies, especially whoever's in charge of the puppeteering, as one would say, or muppeteering, however. Muppeteering.
Never got into Alf though. My Alf is a hoot riot on Snowdub's channel. If you want to get a creator on here, get Jolly's a good book. Jolly will bring you some traction too, because I love working as part of the Cotton Council over there. One of my puppets, Alf, is like one of the stars over there.
Yeah,
and it's a lot of fun. And he just crossed 10,000 subscribers. So I'm working with a guy that crossed 10K.
nice.
I can't really bitch and moan about that.
Well, I mean, you get to work with a bunch of people that you enjoy the entertainment part of it.
That's right.
But
Keep
was
your
it?
improv game sharp.
Oh,
because none of the shit's rehearsed.
I never rehearse. And I think that's one of the things that kind of some people kind of catches them off because okay, so
Mhm.
what you're saying it's a show, right? Yeah, it's a show.
It's a show.
Yes, but it's you don't have anything to talk about. No, there's plenty to talk about. Okay, but what do you have set up for? There's the what do you mean like topics, whatever? Yeah, why do you have topics? Like no, there's no topics. The conversation itself is a topic,
Mm-hmm.
and because you had mentioned Ryan Roger, Athe a while back, right?
He's a good kid.
Yeah,
He's a good
yeah,
kid.
yeah. Well, and people are still wondering if he's Welsh or not, but that's neither here nor there. I had him on a long time ago, and we were discussing of because he's watched Nerdrotic and all of them to kind of find out what's the best way to do things, right? Because he's a content creator in his own
Mm.
right, and so it was sort of a discussion between structured and unstructured because I'm unstructured, to be honest. The only shows that are ever any structured at all is my Rumble Squared one, and that's because of different things. But for DaraChat, I mean it's very unstructured because I think when you give people enough space to kind of roam a bit, you get to find out things or experience things or learn things that you might not have if it was whatever. But this is just from
Mhm.
my end of things. I'm not here to tell what content creators are great. It's just that me and him have differences of how we do things because
Right.
I enjoy the more free open space, and I've already watched enough content creators and all this stuff. Just like that's I get the topic stuff, I get it, but at the end of the day, it just feels like 24/7 news to me. So I'd rather do this, and it's worked out well.
Well, that's
Over,
what I like to do with my variety shows. We really don't cover news whenever I'm up
mm,
there singing and performing and bringing entertainment. I just bring entertainment.
yeah, like
Then
with a
probably
banjo.
like with a banger. Well, the banjers next week. We got one coming in the mail. No, I don't know how to play the banjo, but I do know how to tickle the ivories a little bit.
Oh, you know how to play piano?
Oh yeah, yeah. Here, well, let me turn her on. Say hi, Bessie. So
Nice.
just, but that's another story for another time.
Oh, it's always so. How long you been playing with that then?
Let's just say I've had a hard training
Oh,
regimen.
wow.
Catholic
Ah.
instructor,
Mm.
sister superior
Yeah.
kind of vibe, and I'm gonna tell you right now, there's been more times where I was cleaning the keys off
Yeah.
more than I was playing them growing up. I've seen the color of my knuckles, and let me tell you
Right.
something.
And the sisters.
It's not as white as my teeth.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I would like be forced to learn all these like classical numbers, and so
Mm.
when I was younger and I was going through that bullshit,
Mm.
I said to myself, I'm going to learn Uptown Rags. I'm going to learn how to play
Oh,
jazz.
yeah.
So
Ragtime.
I got into Scott Joplin.
Mm.
And there's a Simpsons joke that I can reference here. It says, I said, play some piano. Not piano, piano. And definitely a difference.
That's too funny. It's been so long since I've seen any Simpsons, but then again, it's not really much of a show anymore.
No, not well. After season 8, it just went the way of commercialization. Syndication fatigue is a real thing, folks.
Yeah.
If you don't keep it fresh, you regardless, even for YouTubers, this is something that I tell YouTubers, and the reason
Mm.
why I'm branching out into so many different angles is
Mm.
there is such a thing as syndication fatigue, and you're going to plateau if you don't constantly add something to your channel. And I understand that the YouTube algorithm loves if your channel does this exact same thing. Oh,
Mm.
Tony, you play Magic the Gathering? Just talk about Magic the Gathering all day. Be like, the Magic Historian and
Mm.
Tolarian Community College or MTG Goldfish. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. But I like to also, play UT. Oh, so you're a retro gamer. Come play Boomer Shooters. Be like Midnight and talk about all the Doom wads till the end of time. You get 200
Right.
subs. But I just don't like playing Unreal and Doom. I like to do this.
Yeah.
So my objective with my channel
Uh-huh.
is to basically shove my fist so far up YouTube's ass and go, I'm going to show you how a channel is successful because of what I want to do what I want.
Yeah.
And I want to do all the things. I don't want
Yeah.
to just, stick to a lane. I don't,
Yeah.
and if my channel grows a little bit slower over time, then so fucking be it.
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's the best. I think that's the best way to do it because I think a lot of people play to the algorithm in order to get views and whatnot. And at the end of the day, though, I mean, I think people tend to forget that YouTube, there was no monetization when it started out. There was no money at
No.
all.
It was a social media site.
Yeah.
Nothing more, nothing less.
Yep. And now that money's been added to it, it kind of changed the perception of what are you creating for, right?
Yeah.
And I've asked other people this too, is that the problem with the money, there's not too much of a money problem because I mean there are people that wouldn't like a little, like you do a lawn mowing, whatever, paper delivery, you'd like a little extra bit. That's fine. But when you make it a livelihood out of it, there's a risk of the rug being pulled out of you, especially if you're only on one platform. And YouTube tends to prove that one point very well if you're only on one platform.
Once they're tired of you, they'll do this particular number. Once YouTube says enough's enough,
Yeah.
there she goes, and you are donezo. So I do plan on investing in my Rumble a little bit more because YouTube's also kind of like, they're kind of like weenies. They don't like bad words, and they don't like talking about things that are controversial.
Yeah. Oh.
Come on.
Sweet.
Come on.
Yeah, I know, and I get it. Oh, hold on. There we go. But no, yeah, I get that. Again, it's the thing. Like I've had enough. Even with Twitch, Twitch has its own issues too. The point of the matter is though is that there she is. But the point of the matter
Like me, Scoob.
like
I'm a producer for her show.
oh yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had her on not too long ago. She's very lovely.
Yeah,
But yeah, and that's been my thing too. Is like you know what? Don't listen to me on content creation. Don't if you want to be on one platform, that's fine. But I'm just gonna stop by for a little bit. I'm gonna say if you're only on one platform, my producer. Yeah, no, he said it. He let me know. He's way ahead of you on that regard.
Well, you got to remember there's a 10-second delay between stream and chat.
Yeah.
Take it from somebody who produces streams.
Yeah. In more ways than one. But no, yeah, it's one of those things where nowadays people have the technology to not be in one place, and while I know YouTube is the king of platforms, it will take the whip to you, and you will not like it.
It will make you go, it rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again. Yes, brush with the hose. Go to get the hose.
Yep. And I'm still surprised people don't, when they're only on the one platform. Again, Twitch has its own issues and stuff, but I'm always surprised when they go back and they stick to the one platform, and it's sort of like that abusive relationship where, hey, EG, it's sort of,
my God! I'm gonna be running her commercial very, very soon in my next program.
nice.
Yes, yes.
EG's good people too. I've had her on before as well.
We talked Shadowrun, and she almost tempted me to add into my already busy schedule games of second edition over here when I was hanging out with her at Slice and Dice. It's like, where am I going to get the time to run a campaign? Oh, well.
Those type of games, the D&D and stuff, those things can run forever.
If they're good, yes.
Yeah. But then again, I've never played one, so I don't know. So I'm a little out of that boot. But where was I at? But yeah, no, I just I understand it's at where YouTube, but that's also the danger of YouTube. When it can treat you like the king of the world, and then it can treat you like the thief. No, what was it? The slave in the kingdom, basically.
Yes. When YouTube is just one of those weird, not to quote old fish eyes. Speaking of, you know, fish. It's a bad movie. No, no. YouTube's just a weird, always changing platform.
Mm.
And you let me run, or I know the author
Of one of the adventures for 2E.
I would be inclined to play. I would reroll Grok Shugok and have my Orc Decker that could smash through firewalls just with sheer willpower. I would love to just bring him back from the dead for a little bit. That'd be pretty fun, to be quite honest.
Give him a phoenix feather now.
You heard the man, and you know the drill, assholes and elbows.
That's right. But yeah, no, that's why I just do what I do, and I'm on the platforms I on. Because there's also that thing too of where you could get burnt out on being multiple platforms, and you kind of have to do all that stuff.
Well, you're gonna get burnt out anyway. The trick is,
Mhm.
and this is some advice that I'm also going to give. This is a nickel's worth of free advice. If you're the kind of person that wants to build a community and meet people, don't shoot for that 1,000,000 subscriber milestone. Don't shoot for the 500,000. Tap out at about 40 or 50K. Have an active chat of about 300 with 60 talking at a time. Because that's the sweet spot. That's the sweet spot where if you have a community that's very generous and loving and they appreciate the fact that you love them and would do the same thing, you're going to make enough money to live comfortably. But at the same time, your chat's not going to be flying by at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and you're not going to be able to say hi to anybody. There is the downside of being big, being too big, and that's not being able to be intimate or personal with your friends, because you need to treat your community as if they're friends, not listeners, not viewers, not wallets with legs. They're your friends. And if you go in with that mindset, the last thing you want to get is too big, where you have to hire a moderation team just to screenshot super chats and you know, you have to do like catch-up shows in case your schedule doesn't let you stay on for longer. And it starts to run away from you, and you start losing the connection with the people that were there with you since day one.
Right.
I don't ever want to lose connection with the people that were there with me since day one. When I first hit live, a little over 2.5 years ago, I was on a cell phone. The battery on that cell phone started getting piping hot, like a rod of U-238 out of the water, you know, and it was getting, you know, melting in my hand.
Yeah.
And I was on the air for approximately 30 minutes over StreamYard.
Yeah.
30 minutes. I still netted that one viewer, and that one viewer ended up being my first subscriber, and my first subscriber is still with me today. And I know her by name.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, again, in doing this, I've met a lot of different people, and some are still there, some aren't. I mean, it's just the name of the business, but it's never been about everything beyond the conversation has always been a bonus to me, because it as
You're gonna get bonuses. I'm gonna be performing here in a little bit.
The point of the matter is that it all can disappear just as quick as it comes. And you can, you know, but I mean, I found my thing and wanted to do this with conversing with whole sorts of different people, because at the end of the day, the world is too big to feel so small or to be so small. And there are too many people not to try. There are too many people not try and converse with. And then EG says, no, Mr. Stark. Wizards of the Coast definitely told me the brain was just an obstacle between people and the money.
Is that the reason why that they finished the mage series of blue artifact fetch mages with a fat kid that isn't even a demon, but he's wearing horns and looks like he just stepped out of Hot Topic? I'll wait. That kind of big brain energy? Big brain energy.
Well, it was a funny thing. I was seeing, it was on Twitter X, and I think the video was about someone had pulled the One Ring card.
The Post Malone story.
Oh, is that who pulled it?
No, that's who bought it from the kid for $8 million.
Oh, wow. Not bad.
Post Malone flops cardboard, believe it or not. I mean, Magic, much like D&D, everybody's got a table.
Mm.
In fact, I'm going to be playing cards later on tonight. You are my only venue today.
Oh, well, thank you.
Because normally on Tuesdays I take off, but
Mm.
since you were able to move the time slot before I play cards later on this evening, which again we got like 2.5, 3 hours,
Mm.
because his invite times vary as well. He's like me; it's like I'm gonna be there, but Drew's always late. Always late to his own party. We're sitting out there waiting for him to come unlock the door, and it's just
Yeah.
like, oh, where are you? We're here. You said 7:30. It's 8:30. Where you at?
Miss Johnson, can he come out to play yet? No. He doesn't want to come out. He's not feeling so good.
No. So you gotta work within a time window, and that's why I like working with approximates.
Yeah.
Normally, like I said, normally Tuesday's my day off, but I'm having a lot of fun here.
Yeah.
But so you did mention a little Nightmare Before Christmas, and I figured that'd probably be our opening tune for tonight.
Your opera, as it were.
Well, it's a set list. But if you really want to treat it like a musical, yes, I do have an 11 o'clock number and a closer. I got about 5 set up here.
Nice.
So let me just go ahead and grab that.
Just don't drop it.
Oh yeah, well I got a songbook. It's right here in my little hard drive. Every parody song I've ever wrote.
Ooh, nice.
Oh yeah, I don't just sing covers. While I can sing covers, I'm not the kind of person that's just gonna. No. I'm a comedian. I'm a comedian, darling. A comedian. So we're gonna start with something a little slow. It definitely replaced my opening number that I did have planned because you mentioned Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
So cheers and tip your waitress. This song is simply called Tony's Lament. There are few who deny at late night I get no rest, for my talents are needed far and wide. When it comes to doing voices after work, that's right, I excel without ever even trying. The slightest little effort of my high-earned charms, I have seen my chat give out a laugh. With a wave of my hand and a well-placed drink, I have made the best of watching all this crap. But show after show, it's the same routine, and I grow so weary of complaining streams. And I, Stock, the singing king, have grown so weary of the same old thing. Oh, somewhere deep inside of my soul, an emptiness began to grow. There's something out there for me to watch, a worthy show I've never known. I'm a master of Rick and a pundit. A prick, and I'll wow you right out of your pants. I'm that guy in Kentucky who's really unlucky because I wanted to see storylines enhanced. The next stream I dread makes me hurt in the head that I numb with furious libation. I'm belligerent and mad who drinks when I can to try and relieve my heated frustration. We all here to really understand that the Iron Man with the Saturday show would tire of his mic. If he found a show that's good, he'd end the live now if he only could. Oh, there's an empty place in my soul that calls out for things new and bold. The chats and praise come year after year, does nothing for these empty tears. That's our opener for tonight's show. Yeah.
Flowers everywhere.
Well, I scared the ladies away. Ooh, maybe I shouldn't quit my day job.
But you said you wrote this parody song.
The lyrics, the lyrical ensemble. Obviously,
Mm.
the tune is.
Yeah. Obviously, that was Danny Elfman who wrote the actual song. But yeah.
Yes. But those were my lyrics. And one of the first things that I could give to anybody who wants to write a parody song is lyrical syntax is key. Even if you're out of register and you're a little, if you sing like you just, are at a drunk karaoke somewhere, lyrical syntax is key because everybody knows the song you're referencing. At least 90% of them do. You're always going to have that one member of the audience going, "What the fuck was that?" But as long as it's identifiable.
What about your own song? Have you ever written a song?
Well, I do dabble. I've not written a full song. I've written stanzas. I've written choruses.
Great.
Just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But nothing to the extent of a full ensemble because I'm a traditional musician.
Yeah.
And I'm not the kind of person that's just going to go to Suno and be like, "Hey, just randomize me something." I would actually go to Suno with a song structure. I hope it reads sheet music because that's if you can't read sheet music, it's going to be a bitch going, "Okay, want this tempo 4/4, key of A minor,
right?
Want bridge here, reprisal here."
Uh-huh.
Like that. That's annoying. That's absolutely fuck all annoying.
Right.
But if I could just write it on a scale and just read the sheet music, then for me that's a little easier than just typing all that shit out.
Yeah. So you can read actual sheet music then, is what you're saying.
I am a classically trained piano player. I'm a pianist, yes.
Yeah. Well, that's great because I can't. But because I
it's good. But moving on, I can't.
No, because we had to. My family had to take piano lessons when we were younger, and it wasn't always the funnest of gigs. So I didn't have nuns to rat at me, but certainly parents is a different story altogether. But to be able to play piano on any scale, even if it's just like half cocked, it's a lot better than not at all. Because I think a lot of people, if they can't play an instrument, they'll either buy something or they'll do, like you said, they'll use Suno to do it. I mean, I think a majority of people have been. Oh, go ahead.
If I could use Suno efficiently enough to emulate the band, and then secondly, I would have them remove whatever voice they put into it and allow me to perform it. Then I could just play it like a backing track and perform it. I could see myself doing that because hiring a band is kind of expensive, yo.
Oh yeah.
But I would still have to I'm not a big fan of AI. I know people that draw that don't like AI. I don't want to sound like Miyazaki-sama here, but if you have the talent, do it traditionally. Teach people the traditional methods. Pass it down. Inspire people to create with their hands. More and more people are not having the opportunity and the privilege to create with their hands, to learn a trade or to learn a talent, and actually produce. Part of the human condition as creators. Are you a Christian man?
I have a Christian family, yes, but I understand the AI sort of arguments on both ends because I've listened to both ends, but
If you want to veer from religion, the only point I'll make is this. Okay. When it says in the Bible that the Lord made us in his image, it wasn't 2 hands, 2 legs, and a beard, and it isn't a man in the clouds. The Creator made us in his image. He made creators. We all have the ability to create. That is the point that you take from that. We have the ability to create. We are given a playground, an entire planet to create on.
Yeah.
And it's short, sweet, and simple of it. So if you end up becoming incapable of working with your hands in some capacity, or creating with a talent or a trade learned traditionally, you ultimately begin to lose a piece of what is intrinsic to you as a creator. You want to be able to put the work in. You want to see the fruits of your labor. You want to see your accomplishments. You don't want some zeros and ones to do it for you. That's taking something that's intrinsic in us and ultimately removing it. So,
well, and understandably so, because again, there's a lot of people for and against, but in all retrospect of what is, if we're talking about using tools that are felt to take away something from the human aspect of it, right? The playground stuff, then what do you consider tools that what's a good word for it, can speed up the process of things? So let's go to a great example would be the Gutenberg Express.
yeah.
Right, the Gutenberg Press, right, where you'd have monks for days on end writing in books and copying, being paid pennies or whatever the money's worth. But now you have this new invention which will cut down that process. Does that take away the equation of what you're speaking of, or does that just
Are we dependent on the Gutenberg press?
well,
Ultimately, are we dependent on our virtual intelligence programs? There's a fine line between convenience, which is what both of these things were intended to be used for. Ultimately, I'm not saying, hey, don't just drop AI at the drop of a hat. Don't fiddle with it. It's a toy. It can be a tool, but don't go into something blind and having no foresight into what industry you're telling the program to emulate. Is if that makes sense. Like, have a basis of understanding. Have some grounded knowledge to where you could look at that and go, okay, that's acceptable. That you're able to see the imperfections that the machine's going to print out. Because much like the Gutenberg press, after a few characters on the reel would wear down, those letters would start to bleed on the page. So occasionally a person that would be understanding of how the writing was supposed to be on the page would go in there and they would replace that letter.
Yeah.
So that's not something that's the same concept. It's like, use it as a tool and a means of conveyance, but never become so dependent on it that you forget why that tool is there for. It's like when I grew up in a math class where the teacher would say, "Hey, look, you ain't going to have a calculator on you at all times." Now, obviously, a lot of those teachers are eating crow.
Yeah.
But the concept remains. You have to have some sense of autonomy and some sense of capability. Everything is a Carrington event away. We are a Carrington event away from our bank accounts, our AI tools, most of our vehicles. We're a Carrington event away. And for those of you that don't know what the Carrington event was, it was whenever our parent star decided to give us a one good lick with an electrical ionized solar flare induced storm that had auroras going almost down to the equator as a result. But the amount of electricity that was being flung through the ionized air, caused all of the telegraph lines from
Mhm.
coast to coast to overheat and fail.
Right.
Um, if an event were to happen of that capability today,
Mhm.
hey Kismet, hello. Why are you on so early? It's a scheduling thing. It's my fault.
Uh,
Nothing to me.
it's just a great time we agreed on. I work with my guests and their schedule, so it's nothing new. I've done it before,
Mhm,
but previously, Pizza John, our Pizza John
mhm.
I've had on, he's at 4. Yeah, so it's just a scheduling thing. But anyway, you were talking about the Carrington event.
Yeah, if something of that caliber were to happen today, and it would knock out, a lot of these servers with people's account information, and
Mm,
you see, that's all on data. It's all hard data.
mm-hmm.
The Carrington event would cause satellites to fail. I mean, we didn't have satellites in 1869,
Right.
but those would be fried first because at least there isn't a protective ozone to filter out some of that solar radiation and charged,
Mm,
ionized particles.
right.
So what you get at the end of it is a subsequent collapse of our infrastructure as we instantly go back to 1955 as far as like our economical infrastructure. We would lose so much money that's already indebted with a series of digital IOU after digital IOU after digital IOU.
Mm,
It would cause a market crash that hasn't been foreseen since the stock market crash of 1929. The dollar would end up becoming worthless for about 3 years, and then it would become ultimately worth its weight in gold again afterwards. But in
mm,
those 3 years of economic backlash from the technological failures due to that solar flare,
right.
that's a lot of families, that's a lot of people, a lot of these young kids, a lot of these young Turks that
Mm,
think that they can just get on and Google and have an answer. And while, yes, having access to the compendium of all human knowledge that is the internet is a convenience, but this is going back to my point that we were saying earlier. It's a tool, not something that you need to lean on. Don't make your tool a crutch to where you cannot have something that you can fall back on in the case that you don't have access to that tool.
you want the ease even harder. Gonna need 30 million for a bridge. Oh. No, and but I mean, you could,
Mhm.
the power. You already see what happens when the power goes out in a
Mhm.
a natural disaster. Anyway,
Well,
um,
that's an excellent choice, Kismet. Are you selling the Golden Gate or the Brooklyn Bridge? I think I might have a
the
guy.
golden can never be gold enough because it's not made of gold.
Yeah, right,
But
right,
but no, yeah, you have that, and it could happen. But I mean, again, I mean, money itself doesn't really have any true value because we give it value.
right,
So if you were to say, I don't know, 75% of people stop believing that the dollar had any value at all, or the rest of the world, honestly, because we're global, you would already see that collapse anyway, and you wouldn't have to worry about the electricity going off because it's a belief.
hmm
Uh, money itself is just a belief. Same
That's
with
why I got
influence.
myself a big old thing of bottle caps, baby, because I'm waiting.
Well, you also have to wait for a nuclear bomb to go off too, and then ghouls, and then a
Mm,
bunch of other stuff.
uh,
So you
Jarvis, can you open up missile tube 2, please? Thank you. All right, we're going to be launching Minuteman missile MIRV to approximate location. Launching. We are operating 3, 2, 1. Let fly. Now, this is where it gets good. There she comes. You got your protective goggles? I sure as hell hope so. You got some pretty kick-ass shades. I think you'll be fine. There we go. Don't look at it. Grab your marshmallows. And 3, 2. Ah.
Now I'm just waiting for dog meat to appear. Oh goodness, I haven't played
There
that
ain't no
game in
want
forever.
one. They're hot.
I haven't played the Fallout in such a long time, to be honest. But anyway, it is the top of the hour. So what that means is that I set aside for time for us to promote ourselves. So some creators do it at the beginning, some creators do it at the end, some creators do it sporadic throughout. But I sort of do it at like the like a time manner. So the top of the hour. But I do have your. I believe I do.
Oh, you're wanting to cut the show early?
No, it's
Okay.
just setting.
Oh, you like to do it at high noon. This is a Mexican
At
stand-up.
At the top of the hour, that's right. I did put your link tree down below, but since you are equivocal in your ability to sell yourself, I think you have the talent to stack it up. So the floor is yours.
All right, one moment here while I go ahead and grab my Rumble channel so that you can share it with your fine folks here. Let me see. Where is the private chat in this?
You could just yeah, it's right down there.
Oh, I see. It's got the IRC. There you go, sir. There is my Rumble link. Now, since we're going to go ahead and bring this to the fore here, let me go ahead and just change my clothes. And by that, I mean we're going to do that there. Like there. I'm going to overheat the reactor like that. Alrighty then. And then, now that we've got the visuals, we need to go ahead and double down on the audio input here. So we're going to go ahead and crunch up the sound compression to a solid 700 and 3100 hertz. Text speed 0, relay speed 2.5, and there we go. Now we're dialing it in. Testing. Is this thing coming in okay? Wonderful. I suppose it's now time for us to roll our beautiful bean footage. What do you say, my good man? Are you tired of the same humdrum day to day, ladies and gentlemen? Are you literally chomping at the bit for a variety program that is fit for you? Are you tired of seeing people bitching and complaining literally every single day on the surface of Holy Terra over the terrible things in life? Well, guess what? We love you too. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, because for the low price of a liking and a sharing and a subscription of either my Rumble program or YouTube, thus directly, you can be whisked away into a whimsical world of parody, satire, comedy, and much more, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Dad jokes, character impersonations, parody songs, and more can be found at the Stock of Iron channel and one of two very delicious flavors. The Stock of Iron Classic channel that is located on the tubes of the U, but also we do have a green flavor for those of you that like Green Monster Proviso. You too can join us here on either one of those two programs, ladies and gentlemen. This advertisement was brought to you by the fine folks at Great Tortoise Cigarettes, the Nuka-Cola Corporation, and Iodine Toothpaste. Because if you're going to ruin your smile with the first two products, the least you can do is become an overachiever and bring that bad boy home with tubal unmitigated bleach and fluoride. And all in participating stores. Yeah, mouthful.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's always the little lettering they speed up that you have to be careful of. Always the little lettering. But anyway, yes, he does have his link tree is down below, and I did put his Rumble channel in the I'll add it later after the show, but it is there, so give him a look. If he's worth a follow, why not give it to him? Because it's he
almost
puts
to
an effort.
1,500. Wouldn't that be nice before going and playing cards today to get to 1,500 subscribers from the jump? That would be marvelous.
Every goal is a reach at the stage it's at. But yes, his stuff is down below, so give him a look. There you go. Rock.
Nah, DJ is a good friend of mine.
He says it's DJ Play Nice, so
That's right.
He does play nice. I heard he does that.
That's the man with the golden baritone. I think now that my pipes are a little bit more limber, we should probably get to our next song, shall we? I think.
Well, of course you. As stated, once you get yours, I must get mine. Whether you're on the Rumble side or whether you're on the YouTube side, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like, sharing the content, leaving a comment or follow. Anything that helps with the engagement factor is much appreciated, because at the end of the day, not only does it help in being seen more, like all content creators want to be seen, obviously, but it also helps in having other people to talk along the way, like our great Tony Stark, the real Tom B, Jack Tarlett, of course, 13 times at this point, and Abe, if he's even in the chat trying to bother you for more time. But anyway,
Love Abe.
anyhow, yeah, he's a one of a kind, that is for sure. But anyway, any help with the engagement factor on either end is much appreciated, because I do enjoy getting to talk to all sorts of people along the way, creator or not, doesn't matter. All that matters is if you're willing to take up the opportunity to just have a conversation, and that's the important part. Also, I have a link down below as well. I have my Twitter X in it. I have my email in it, and of course, DM me for Discord. But I don't have a server there. I only handle so much. But if you want to see where else I'm at, that link's down below. If you'd like to take up the opportunity to come on yourself, because honestly, again, I speak to creators and non-creators alike. You can either go to the comment section down below, leave a little thing, and I'll see it, or you have the link down below. I will tell you this, though. There's been one person so far that has found me through my links to come on the show, and it was a Canadian. So Americans do better, because a Canadian beat you to the punch.
You got to do better, Senator. You got to do better.
It's a sad day when I'm in America and it's a Canadian that proves. It's a Canadian that proves. But anyway, any help with the gauge factor and link down below. I appreciate you all. Yes, because I am a very busy person. I haven't even filled out the rest of my schedule yet, so I gotta.
No, you had a book scheduled for at least the first 4 days. Whenever I saw my name tagged in it.
Oh yeah. But I mean, I've done almost. Actually, to be honest, this is actually the year celebration. Well, I don't want to say celebration, but it's like the year sort of thing where I first started doing a whole month of having people on. Well, not weekends. Weekends are sort of, because I have a full-time job, so I'm not trying to do that. But this is the 1 year anniversary of me doing the whole calendar thing, even though it's not filled in yet. There's still some more to go. So I just gotta sit down amongst the other things I'm doing. But yes, I've been doing that for that portion for a year. But I started doing this in the end of 2023, I think. Yeah,
Right.
It's been a while. You start forgetting after a while. But yeah, it's over 100 and different, varied guests across the way, and it's unfathomable what you not only get to talk to, but what you also get to learn to. I've talked to people who consider themselves VTubers. I've talked to people who are current or retired military. I've talked to people who are tech, like Tomby, obviously a real smart dude. I've talked to people who don't even create content at all. It's so wide and varied. It's just, again, it's just hilarious. I don't see anyone else trying to do it, and it's like pennies on the ground. And it's been an awesome time getting the opportunity, though. But yeah. Yeah, I almost forgot it too. I almost forgot it'd been years since I started doing the whole calendar thing. But yes, I do. I do take holidays off, and I do take family events off. But I usually tell people ahead in advance. I won't be doing it. It's like Memorial Day weekend. Like, come on.
Right. Well, as one should. I mean,
Yeah. Because otherwise, you could just disappear off the face of the earth, and people are like, what happened to this person?
what the hell happened to that guy?
He's like David Copperfield. He just disappears. You're just like, hey, look, I have a rabbit in hat. We can't see the hat nor the rabbit. Well, that's the trick.
Hey, Rocky, you want to see me pull a rabbit out of my hat? I don't know, Bullwinkle. It's easy. Nothing up my sleeve, and presto. Now for something everybody will enjoy.
That's right. Hello to Real and DJ. Oh, look at that. That's pretty
fantastic. Awesome. Fantastic. Hope everybody's having a good time. I'm ready for my next number if you are.
Go for it.
All right. This particular number is to a Billy Joel tune of the similar tempo. And it's kind of like the state of things in Hollywood right now. So it goes a little bit like this. Oh, Richard Davies, Captain K, dead. Franchise soups are gay, not terrific. Alex Kurtman, Disney Plus, oh no. Dave Filoni, no subscription, getting lame on television. No Avengers, just pretenders. Marvel Studio, who lit the dumpster fire? It sure wasn't burning when we all were learning. Agatha had bomb, cash away, crashing down. Grogu, Kenobi fried, lightsabers can't make you die. Compressor bypass scene, Indy's got a new queen. Kill Han Solo, TR8, our sequel sucking goodbye. Who lit the dumpster fire? It sure wasn't burning when we all were learning about the dumpster fire. The woke had to light it and we tried to fight it. J.J. Abrams, Captain Pike, mystery boxes all alike. Shooty, Gatwa, smoky monsters, bacon for Spock. Land whales, wardrobe fails, obesity, no jobs, writer strike, no rights, streaming round the clock. Weinstein, that fiend, Leslie's knowing what I mean, bought of pockets, no white man, the DEI, angry fans, Terry Metellus, his name on the planets, Lucasfilm Studios, why do they fucking blow? Who lit the dumpster fire? It sure wasn't burning when we all were learning about the dumpster fire. The woke had to light it and we tried to fight it. Toddler Leia, girl boss, space Doppler stock lost. Smiler Ren, light year, we just started, I fear. Me too, merchandise, getting dust, I realize. Elemental, more tears, I am running out of beers. Who lit the dumpster fire? It sure wasn't burning when we all were learning about the dumpster fire. The woke had to light it and we tried to fight it. The acolyte, STD, why is it always me? Star Trek, Wars, check, another season, lower decks. Warhammer 40k, Fem Stoties are here to stay. Concord, Saints Row, even games have gone so woke. Star Wars, Outlaws, design failures are a joke. $100 you have paid, what else have I got to say? Dun, 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 dun. Mind control, Disney farce, dilapidated parks. Subscribe for lies, babysit doesn't fly. There is the DEI acting like they are right. Don't leave the kids again. Disney princess is a man. Who lit the dumpster fire? It sure wasn't burning when we all were learning about the dumpster fire. The woke had to light it and we tried to fight it. Misfortune, that's her gain. Ashoka stoned again. Ideologues, demagogues, more bullshit in the slug. Please, I want no more. I beg of you, I implore. If I see another bore, I can't take it anymore. Who lit the dumpster fire? It sure wasn't burning when we all were learning about the dumpster fire. The woke had to light it and we tried to fight it. Who lit the dumpster fire? It sure wasn't burning when we all were learning about the dumpster fire. The woke had to light it and we tried to fight it. Hey, it's all about lyrical syntax.
I thought you were going to play with your piano going along with that.
Well, I don't want you to get struck. Don't want you to get that copyright claim.
Well, I the only the funny thing is the only one I ever got was so what?
I'll have a copyright claim for you at the end of the show. If you want some piano, I usually save it for my closing number.
You're fine.
I do have a closing number that I will play. It is planned.
Oh, nice. No, I was just I was doing one of my pay it forward streams, and one of the people that stopped by was either playing a WWF game or showcasing WWF, and they don't joke around. they don't joke around. I didn't get hit with any copyright strike. I just got hit with you might want to delete this portion out of your stream.
Yeah. Well, if you got a claim going on, claims just demonetize one show. As long as you're sticking to the straight and narrow and don't rack any of those up, when you get to your 500 and your watch hours, you'll be able to get your memberships and your super chats like normal. Because by the time that happens, your streams that do have like this copyright claim and that copyright claim aren't really going to affect your metric. You should be fine.
And I'm already monetized on Rumble. That doesn't.
Hey, well, how many people you got over there on Rumble? Why don't you come over here, hang out with old Dad?
3, yeah. No, it's you know, I know I do the thing that doesn't get a lot of people, but again, it's the thing of it not being seen everywhere else. So why not? Why? And I enjoy doing it. So just like you enjoy doing your content variety streams, whether it be musical or or puppetry or whatever it may be. We all
Mhm.
have our different points we want to go to. So it is what it is. But yeah, I just oh, what was I at? Um, but yeah, I just don't. It's not that big of a deal for me, regardless, because one, I'm already monetized in one place, and uh, this isn't about the money and what I do it for. That's a nice
Mhm.
bonus at the end of the day. Because I do work a full time job, so it's not like the end all be all, you know.
Right, right. I had the same attitude, but I'm getting up in years, and I thought to myself, well, if I can't have myself a nice cushy job, then I guess I'll have to just trade it for another nice cushy job.
If you enjoy it, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Again, that's and now if the channel gets too big and I can't connect with my community, obviously I'm going to eat crow. But
Um, well, is that more your worry though? Is that more the worry that if you do?
I'm afraid that the channel will spike. I'll do something viral, and the next thing I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna have like another zero at the end of my subs, and my chat's gonna have like 500 people in it. It's gonna start whizzing by, and I'm not gonna be able to say hi to anybody. That's what I'm more afraid. It's like I said at the beginning of today's program. I'm more afraid of losing the connections that I've made than getting subscribers and
Mhm,
catering to a common denominator
mhm.
and I'm more worried about losing the friendships to try to cater to nameless fans. I want all of my listeners and all of
Mhm,
my co-panelists, co-hosts, collaborators, fellow creators to grow together and to create something that when we work together with it is unstoppable.
mhm. Yeah,
And,
I I
that's
think if you oh, go ahead.
yeah. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I think I mean, if you remain humble about it, I mean, I think you should be fine. I understand the fear because there's all that thing with like celebritism, right? You do
Mm-hmm.
that one thing like Justin Bieber, right? Justin Bieber
Not
song,
Justin Bieber. That.
yeah, Justin Bieber, what was sang some sort of song on YouTube and he was discovered by Usher. So there's stuff like that. I'm not saying that you're a Justin Bieber, but I'm trying to point out an example that I can understand that reproach. But I think if you're enjoying what you're doing and you know what you're in for it,
Mm-hmm.
all those things just kind of slip away because at the end of the day, you know what you're in for. And I think that's more above than what you see a big chunk of other creators or
Well, other people are just wanting to
yeah.
get an easy buck.
Well, it's
I'm
not
the
an
kind
easy
of
buck,
person
yeah.
like if I got a $2 super chat.
Hmm.
Let me tell you a story. My first super chat that I ever got was a donation to my PayPal,
Hmm.
and the person that donated it was drunk, and so he sent me a nickel. It's the first nickel I ever earned. He sent me 5 cents. He wanted to send me $5, but he sent me
Right.
5 cents.
Yeah.
Do you know what he got out of that 5 cents? Because that was my first nickel that I ever made on the platform.
What would he
Three,
get?
three parody songs, a transcript reading, and a spot on my panel to bullshit.
Nice. That's pretty awesome.
In my opinion, that's a nickel well spent. By the time that he realized what he had done, he's like, "Oh, I only sent you 5 cents, and you did that for me." I said, "It's a nickel I didn't have before."
It's true. That is very true. That's why I always treat it like a bonus rather than a main staple of trying to make a living off it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have the yeah. If you're not what's the word? If you're stuck on the one platform and you're trying to make a living off it, I don't feel sorry if you get bumped off because you should have already saw the signs with YouTube. But um, at the end of the day, my thing has always been if you enjoy the whatever you're creating, and everything else is you know what you're going in for, then I say you should be all right.
I
And
think I'll
just
be perfectly fine because, again, right now I have such a loving community,
mm,
supportive community, and I do the same for every one of these creators that help me.
mm,
One of the things that I do on my channel is sometimes I'll host a matinee. I'll do that's the name of the variety show
mm.
and I'll post somebody's GoFundMe or their PayPal to the top of the chat, and I'll be like, send all of your love and generosity there. They need it.
Right.
It's called the Stark Relief Foundation. And in fact, we got 2 of those coming up this month.
Nice.
We did a little bit better for the home team last month. So I usually try to do 1 SRF a month.
Mm.
So one of my friends, his name is Casey Azowski, and he's a big supporter of almost every member of my community, including Doomcock.
Mm.
And I'd buy that for $1. Yeah, a dollar would get you a whole show back in the day whenever I got my first nickel.
Mm.
But I'm going to be helping Casey Azowski out because he throws super chats around like crazy. Like he'll throw them at Doomcock, he'll throw it at me, he'll throw it at Brandon, my second, basically my number 1. His name is Statazord, good kid. And I'm teaching him everything that I know about being funny on the air. And Sean Carter is also helping him with some of the structuring of his channel because, again, there's going to be that time where we don't know if we're going to be here, right? We don't know if we're going to be coming in, clocking in, and doing our thing. And so it's always good to have somebody that you can bring up and take the stage in case something happens. Heaven forbid, Lord forbid, knock wood. But there's always that time where you have to consider, okay, what kind of legacy am I really leaving? And I see that in Brandon. Brandon's a good kid, and I hope that he soars as far as I do. I hope he goes further than I do because I'm restricting myself because I don't want to lose connection with the people that I've met.
Right.
I'm restricting myself because I'm not focusing my channel on one thing. Brandon figures out a way to make it profit better than me. Then I'm going to be that much more proud. And B, it wouldn't it would have happened to a good kid.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's what this is about. Right now, my channel, and this isn't a boast. This isn't me flexing or beating my chest or throwing leaves. Okay, I have 1,488 subscribers. Over 200 of that are channel members. It's unprecedented for a channel my size. I can pay my rent and my bills and eat. Do I have anything after that? Absolutely not. Do I live without some creature comforts? Absolutely. I don't have like streaming services or I don't smoke cigarettes. I am an alcoholic, but what if I told you that for 3 weeks I've not had a single drop because I haven't had the money to go towards beer.
Right.
Any money that the show earns, 99% of the time goes towards the show.
Right.
So I have a PayPal incentive for my game shows, and somebody threw me $30. I'm going to be buying another Jackbox party pack for next week. And since I'm getting a party pack, I'm going to have games lined up for the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Right.
That way, I ain't got to worry about saying, "Hey, can somebody help me buy a game?"
Yeah. I see. Yep.
And see, and that way everybody gets their entertainment. And like I said, I try to have a pennies on the dollar kind of value. Like if you're paying a penny, it's worth $1. If you're paying $1, it's worth $10. I want people to know that I'm just as appreciative for a $2 super chat as I am for a $200 super chat.
Yeah.
I also make sure that every super chat is read. In fact, I put on a suit for it. That's how I put on the super suit. I go, "Where's my super suit for my super chats?"
Yeah.
And it's just as easy as 1, 2. And the Electric Goat with a very generous $10 super chat saying, "Tony, shut the hell up about your business and let's play Shadowrun already." Absolutely, Eclectic Goat. We will get right on that. God bless you and thank you for everything you do. Fire for Repulsor in your honor. And I just, take the helmet off. And I bitch about Robert Wright farting in it. It's that, it's those little things that make people feel welcome. That's the objective. It's like I said, if you don't donate money, I treat you with just the same amount of love and respect than those who do. And a lot of YouTubers, they don't go down that method. They don't like that method. They go, "Oh, we got to prioritize the supers." and ignore the regular chat. No, if I don't have a super chat segment during my news show, I bring up the chat and I go, well, ain't no supers this time around, but let's see what everybody's talking about anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I think the point of change is when you make a business out of it, and that's when you become reliant on it to be something more than. Nothing wrong with making
my
a
business platform is community.
Mm.
It
Yeah.
is. I do treat my channel like a business, but it's one of those mom and pop stores that's just doing well enough to get by. And I'm blessed for that. And it's not like I'm going to come on the air with the objective of going, oh, how much money do I need to make today? It's going to be, well, this is how much people thrown in the hat at the end of the night. I consider that a good night.
Yeah. You're not going to be a Jerry Lewis.
No, I'm not going to go, hey, lady, throw some more money in the hat, lady. No, I'm not Jerry Lewis.
You're going to be like, what have we raised? We've raised $1,000 for the children.
Oh my God. We're going to get the Elvis on here.
We need to reach $10,000 for the children.
But my money making techniques comes out whenever I'm doing a Stark Relief Foundation. Whenever I'm making money for somebody else that needs it. That's when you see me push.
Yeah, there's a channel on YouTube I saw. It's a gentleman that owns his own business actually, and he started making videos of his stuff. Is flawless. What was it again? I gotta find it now. Flawless service cleaning, I think it was. 1 second. Flawless. No, it wasn't it? I know how to spell. Flawless cleaning. Cleaning services. That's right.
Flawless cleaning services. Well, if I see one speck of dust, what? I'm funny. I'm being funny.
No, you're fine. The thing of it is, this gentleman, it's UK, and what he does is, I think once, at least in the videos he gives, he goes around and he just gives a free service to somebody, like this gym and so many others, and they don't pay a penny. Actually, I think for Jim, they just redid the roof over his kitchen.
Oh, fucking A, dude. Now that's awesome.
Yeah, and of course he does a GoFund as well to kind of help pay for that stuff. But I mean, he literally pays it forward.
Now that's the kind of that right there.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. And again, he does some other stuff at different places too. But he's really a great person to check out because he just pays it forward in his own way. And yes, he does own a business, but he gives some of his time for whether it be doing the driveway or certain areas. Some people he's done almost their whole outside of their home just because, and some of them have been elderly, right? Elderly people. Right. But the fact that he pays it forward in such a manner is one of those great things because you would think that in the news you would see good news, but that's really not the case. Right. And you're most likely to see it through the sort of social media aspect, but they are hard to find too because you usually see the more negative aspect of social media, which is the money maker. Basically, is the negative side of things, which is kind of the irony of it all. Is like if you want to be positive to make money, well, that's not the case because you got to be negative in order to make money.
The hate click industry is a thing, and while I do share the same anger that a lot of the fandom has, we share the same anger towards what they're doing to the things that we love. I take out my frustrations through whimsy, through music, through character impersonations. And again, there's only one other person that I know that does that, and that's Doomcock. Doomcock does that every Friday night. I do my show on Thursday. He does his show on Friday.
Oh, wow.
And so if you like the matinee, if you tune into the matinee, give Friday Night Frolics a shake. He's a better crooner than I am.
How'd you come across him anyway?
That's a funny story. And that goes way back to when times pre-Coof era, about 2019. Back in the old place that I used to live in, I used to host this thing called a Stark Party. I was the Iron Man of my community long before I made a YouTube channel. In fact, it was a lot of my friends that twisted my arm into making a channel, but then
Yeah.
it was the online community that finally pushed me into it.
Mm-hmm.
I would bartend. I would be the entertainment. I actually would, sing and entertain for my people
Right.
and make everybody laugh and have a good time. In a little 1-bedroom apartment, living room, elbow to elbow, about 20 people.
Wow.
And just people, coworkers, friends that I picked up for, along the way. They would just come and we would hang out and we would all get drunk and have a good time. Which is the formula behind, these variety shows on the internet. And again, this is pre-Coof. I like to fuck with people, and I set up a walkie in my kitchen, and I had a walkie in the bathroom. And whenever somebody would go and get alcohol without asking my permission,
Yeah.
I would just slide in the bathroom and turn on the walkie, and I would just be like, "Hey," or I would, but for a while I would just go, "What the hell are you doing? That's not propane. It's not available for service." So the reason why I chose the Hank Hill reference is because that's how Doomcock was discovered. So YouTube
Wow.
was basically my source of just auto DJ background noise. Well, it flipped over to an episode of Friday Night Frolics in progress, and there was Doomcock up there talking like Hank Hill. And all of us, drunk off of a gourd at this point, was like, Tony's talking through the phone, because they expect
Right.
me to fuck with people.
Right.
And I'm like, no, that's not me. He sounds just like you, like you're Hank Hill. And I'm like, it's not me. You can tell whenever he's not talking like Hank, it ain't me.
Yeah.
No, you're just using some weird thing. And so I finally picked up the phone. I looked at it and said, Overlord DVD. So he's what? A disc? He's a movie.
Right.
Guy's a movie.
Uh-huh.
And as I started, I said, well, let's just let this shit play. Then he starts singing a parody song. He's doing the thing. Are you sure? This is not me, I swear.
Yeah.
And, I look at the time he had 190,000 subscribers. And that's when all my friends said, make a channel. I think I'm happy with clocking and going to work. Do it. And it took all of 2 years. Now,
Wow.
I started hanging out with DC on his Friday Night Frolics as background noise at work. I would just put my ears in and I would just play it. And occasionally when I was on break, if he was still going, that's when I would start sending in chats. And I was still known as Tony Stark at the time.
Right.
And so one of his first interactions with me, because he likes to also engage with his chats even without supers, said, Tony Stark, we got the Tony Stark in our chat.
Right.
Who helped me with the field to contain Harvey. For those of you who don't know, Harvey Cthulhu is just Cthulhu with a fez. And
Yeah.
with Bronx accent. He's a deadbeat dad. He's a great, but also very dangerous threat to the universe. And so I said, sure. And so I sent a $5 super chat, just playing along in character. And I said, here's some extra palladium and platinum. We'll set up the arc tomorrow. And that's how our relationship with DC started. And then over the course of about another 18 months, when this was getting to Coof territory,
right.
It was like, okay, maybe I should make a channel. Maybe I should.
Yeah.
So I made. This is back when it was still called Twitter. I made my X profile.
Right.
And DC said, "Yeah, make an X profile. I'll follow you." So I did. And lo and behold, there it was, my X profile right there. First follow, Doomcock. Then I met this guy called Cardinal Sin, Gil Bavell. God rest his soul.
Right.
Now, where Doomcock was the muse, Cardinal Sin was the drill sergeant and the motivator. Wow. And he used to have this long show, this long ass show, right, called Midnight to Midnight, where he would just bring anybody and their mom on. He would put the link to the stream in the top of the chat. He'd get smashed to margaritas, and he would let anybody and their mom on. I said, okay, sure, why not? I'll give it a fair shake. Again, at this point, I was still using a very shitty phone.
Yeah.
After a few episodes of Midnight to Midnight, I started talking about how DC does the cover for Loch Lomond, which you know the Scottish ballad, ballad.
Okay.
And it's actually a good segue into my third song. That's the song. It's almost as if I had an outline for presentation anyway. But
True.
I digress. I said, screw it. Gil was like, well, fucking sing it. You said you sing alongside of Doomcock. Let me hear it. And I'm like, no, Lemon Pledge, no. No, Superman, no, yeah. He said, fucking do it or I'll boot you off the stream.
Oh.
So I did. And he's sitting there, and like you, he wears a pair of shades, or did. And he leaned back in his seat, and he scratched his chin like this, scratched his chin. And then he goes, "You're gunning for the center of the earth, aren't you?" And I'm like, "What? No. What the fuck is that supposed to be?" He's like, "Gee, you're trying to be Doomcock, ain't you?" No. You got it all messed up. You got no, absolutely not. No.
Yeah.
Well, he said, Tony, you got just about the same amount of passion and character with your music.
Wow.
But I have a big gripe.
Yeah.
And at this time I didn't know he was a drummer.
Oh.
And I'm singing this a cappella just off the heart, right?
Yeah.
And he said, Tony, you would piss off the band worse than stink on shit. So let me give you a nickel's worth of free advice. Get a metronome.
Ooh.
And learn the tempos of your a cappella. That is the only thing you need.
Yeah.
It was the best advice that man could ever give. And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be doing a gig on Thursdays like DC does on Fridays. Thanks. And our shows are inherently different. We have different characters, different skits, different songs that we sing, different parodies. I do occasionally like to croon. I am a crooner. And I've had people saying that I could be worthy of being in DC's Rat Pack, but he's the chairman of the board. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Right.
He's the YouTube Frankie. He's Frank Sinatra. But if there's a slot open for Bobby Darin or Dino, I'll slide in there and take it. Hell.
Why not?
I'll even go with Tom Jones, okay?
There you go.
Come on, come on.
It's not unusual to find, well, what is that song? It's not unusual.
It's not unusual to find out with anyone.
There you go.
It's not unusual to flub these lyrics, anyone. But when I see you hanging about with anyone, it's not unusual to see me cry. I wanna die.
There you go. Tom Jones, ladies and gentlemen. He has entered and then he has exited like Elvis. Wait, Elvis was here? You should have seen it. But no, that's pretty awesome.
So that's how I got this whole gig started, and then of course throughout the times I got slowly better and better equipment. Mexican Iron Man actually was one of the first people that said the first thing you need to get is a better microphone, even if you're broadcasting from a phone. So he sent me a link to a $20 microphone on Amazon that you can plug right in the phone.
There you go.
And then over time, I got more and more stuff, and I met more and more people than I could say in one sentence here. Mm-hmm. But, I started to branch out in other communities, not just Xanadoom, but Cotton Council. I mean, if it wasn't for Snowdub, I don't think I'd ever shove, my hand up a puppet hole, let alone 4 or 5. If it wasn't for Gary Ambrosia, if you notice that background, that is a set. That is a practical model set.
Wow.
Yeah. And of course, I got, if it wasn't for Gary Ambrosia, who does all of the stuff for Xanadoom, him, Rank, or Steve, and you can see there's when the arc's hot.
Yeah.
And
That's pretty
that's
awesome.
that's a maglev. Now, if I
Yeah.
go up here, I got one for hold on, where'd I put it?
Don't lose it. Don't lose it.
It's all through the OBS, and it's all one thing.
Oh.
You got that one there. Hey, how's it going? So, like
I was gonna have him pop out of the coffin.
hey, one at a time. All right. I don't do shoot 2 shows in one night. That's all I'm saying. But no, another voice that I do. Doomcock doesn't do BJ, but I do. And so our shows are ultimately different. And so my objective with the matinee is, if you don't want to wait till Friday, here's something now, something to wet your whistle and get hyped up for Friday.
Yeah.
And it's a good fit. And oops, wrong button.
Oh, don't press the wrong button.
Yeah. And if I press the wrong button, it'd sound a little bit like this, I'm gonna be back down here.
Captain, you're picking up water. There's a hole. There's a hole right over there. Who told you to put a hole over there? I didn't. It was already there.
Damn it, the Sabo team. We need the Sabo team now. Stat. But no, so the next song is actually a song that isn't a parody song. It is near and dear to my heart. It's a song that I sung for Cardinal Sin.
Ooh.
And it's a song that I sing alongside DC. DC takes it to the alto. I take it to tenor too. So if we ever have the opportunity, it'll never happen to harmonize.
You never know.
I've already got that. I've already got that situated well. So this song is also a very sentimental song. It's the first song that I requested him to sing.
Nice.
Via Super Chat. I've sent him Super Chats up too. But this was the first song that I ever had him sing. This is a song that got Gil to kick me in the keister and do this thing. And this is a song that I will now perform for you all. And thank you guys for checking out my good friend Dara Muth, and thank you for providing me this wonderful venue, sir. I hope that we get a lot of traction on the rewind. And remember, this is something that helps out small creators more than anything else. You missed the live, stick the tape in, hit rewind, go all the way back to the beginning. Try to remember how to set the timer too on your VCR.
Be kind, rewind.
Play the tape, and then play the tape.
There you go.
Because that's how us small fries get our traction. That's how we get our watch hours, and it gets our engagement. And so, without further fanfare. A little bit of that Loch Lomond. Where's my spritzer? By on bonny banks and by on bonny braes, where the sun shines bright on the Lowman, where me and me true love would ever wont to gay, on the bonny, bonny banks, oh la Lowman, I'd take the high road, and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland afar. But me and me true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks, oh la Lowman. 'Twas there that we parted in yon shady glen, on the steep, steep side of Ben Lowman, where in a purple hue the Highland hills we view, and the moon coming out in the glow. I'll take the high road, and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland afar. But me and me true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks, Oh la lo, I'm on the wee bear to sing, on the wild flowers spring, and in sunshine the waters asleepin'. But the broken-hearted canes nigh a second spring, though the rifle cease fry their greeting. Or ye take the high road, and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland a 40. But me and me true love will never meet again. Raise your glass, raise it high, for those loved and lost, friends, family members, even the household dog. On the bonny, bonny banks, oh la lo, I am on. Kind of like that. Kind of like that.
Bravo, bravo.
That's what I mean right there. What's your ass over here, Mona?
You want some popsicles? I got some popsicles. I won't get you, Chris. Don't you worry.
That's pretty cool. It's just like giving out free candy, Beavis. Hey, Beavis, check it out. It's like free candy. Whoa, really? Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Hey there, old man. Ever feel like you're lollipop and stuff? Oh, damn it! Get those boys out of that damn yard. You don't want to be over there, damn it.
God dang it, Bobby. No, yeah, that's hilarious. But no, that was pretty good. I was figuring Danny Boy, but that's another song for another time.
Oh, Danny Boy.
The
pipes are calling from glen to glen. Oh, anyway,
he was going for it. It's funny because
no.
It's
you want to take this up to the top of the hour to end it? If so, then I should probably go ahead and get Bessie ready for the final.
Yeah.
Number, you want to go for a little while longer? It's all up to you. You're the boss man.
No, what was I gonna say? No, I was about to say there's actually a Irish pub near where I live, and they once a week they have people come in and they use the old instruments or whatever the Irish instruments are called.
Guns, supposed to tell you.
They end up like a small piccolo and something like that, or flute. But they do have that once in a while. It's always nice to hear it all together. Because what's the drum called that they use?
You're talking to somebody who don't know his Irish instruments.
And yeah, he speaks.
Can impersonate a leprechaun for sure.
He impersonates the candor like he knows it like candy on the back of his hand.
So what is the name of that? Well, that again, let's just refer to our tool, ladies and gentlemen, as we do a throwback to
that has a lot of implications. You want to keep that up.
The name is a bodhran.
A bodhran.
Or Dan. There's I want to do
a Dan.
It's a springleaf drum. It's a bodhran.
That's why it sounds so springy every time it beats. But anyway, yeah, we'll start heading down the close. But since you want to do a little differently for your thing, I'll leave the floor to you, good sir.
Well, let's see here. This next song is with. Hold on, I gotta grab the music here for this because we're gonna probably get all of that situated here. All right. Now this is the part of the movie where we're gonna do our final goodbyes. Normally, my closing numbers fall into three closing numbers: Seismonics closing time. We'll Meet Again by the great Verilyn, and My Way by Frank Sinatra. One of the few Sinatra songs that I can sing well. I mean, I sing Sinatra okay, but again, like I said, I'm no DC, but I have my fair shake.
Yeah.
And so this particular ensemble is called My Way, and this is the parting advice that I will give to anybody out there that wants to be a content creator. Be like Dara here and like yours truly. Don't fit into a mold just to try and make a quick buck. Do things your way. It's very important if you do things your way. The world is your oyster and not the other way around. They ain't spreading your clam, okay? They're not digging your clam. You're digging in their earth. All right? Hey. I want to be talking about clam digging. All right? So, so without further ado, any further fanfare, just remember to do these things your way. And so on keys, let me move this microphone just a wee bit. Is that parting advice? Is there anything you would like to say before we get started?
Oh, I'll save my bit for after. I'd rather you have your portion of.
You see, you're an old country boy too. You like to do your portion. I'll do my portion.
I like it. My guest gets to promote as much as I do, and I let them go first. So the floor is yours.
Magnificent. All right, folks. Hope you guys catch this on the rewind. And without further ado. And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear. I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption. I planned each jotted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing. And now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think, yeah, I did all that, And may I say, not in a shy way, oh no, not me. I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my way. Thank you, Daramuth, so much for having me entertain for your crowd tonight, and to hopefully have provided you the entertainment. Please subscribe to this genuine article, and thank you again. Yes, it was my way.
Bravo. Bravo. Yes, and you did it your way too, with a piano this time. So that was with a piano this time.
Say hi, Bessie. Bessie, he's talking about you, Bessie. Say hi.
She moved all purdy like. And where the Star Wars were in her eyes, but then I realized I don't think that cow's alive. I think that might be something else going on there. But anyway,
It's been a lot of fun. Thank you for having me today.
Oh no, thank you for coming on. It's always a two-way street for the opportunity, because you'll never know who you meet along the way. But it's always a grateful time, because the world is wide and time is short. But why not sit down and just have a chat? And that's what DaraChat's all about. But anyway, his links are down below. Obviously, it's a link tree, and as well, he has his. I'm gonna go through the I did. Oh, here. Nope.
We got twat. We got
There you go.
Faces.
And this is a Rumble as well. He has a YouTube in his link tree. I believe it's in your link tree, your YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's in there. You got your X, your Facebook. You've got all that sort of stuff. It is in that link tree. But now, of course, you have his Rumble as well, and all that stuff. So give him a look. And if to you he's worth the follow, then why aren't you? So there's that.
Absolutely.
Because a man's worth of following is by his works to show that he is worthy of following. So there is that. But for my set of thing, which isn't as handy or as intrinsically beautiful as the rendition of "My Way" we heard, but I do try.
Come, if you probably got a decent singing voice. Why don't you come hang out on a karaoke night one night? Sing a little bit.
Sure, if I don't sound like a horse after it. That's okay. But
avoid the Death Clock hosted karaoke, because we usually sing metal that night.
Oh yeah, no, that at that point I won't be able to sing at all. Everybody wants a bit of her. I was like,
I got a bit of a metal voice there. Yeah, that was pretty fucking good. Dude, have you ever considered working with us? Death Clock, the best band in the world.
as soon as my voice comes back from after being torn to shreds, yeah, sure. but anyway, before I even get into that part, otherwise I won't be able to speak at all. If you're on, whether you're on the Rumble side or whether you're on the YouTube side, it does not matter which side you're on. If you wouldn't mind leaving a like, sharing the content, leaving a comment or follow, anything that helps with the engagement factor is much appreciated, because not only does it help in being seen more, like all content creators want to, it also helps in having the ability to talk to people along the way, like Mr. Stark here, like Jack Tarlad, like UB Legend, and like so many other people. At the end
Jack
of the day,
Tarlad's a good kid. I like him.
Yeah, he can be mischievous in his own ways, but he's all right.
Oh no, I like people that are a bit edgy. They like to throw troll around a little bit. Those are the best times.
Yeah, he likes to show his way up. That's for sure. Um, he likes to show his way up. That's for sure. I should know. But not really. But no, he's one of the good ones. But again, having had that engagement help is what helps with that, and having all these people, because usually it's someone I talk to through X or someone that's recommended to me, or so whole host of sort of things. Over 180 different people, and with let's see, probably under 2 years time, at least. But at the end of the day, it shows that there's something there of value, and why not continue to pursue it? So, any help
Never
with
about the quantity. It's about the quality of the people you find. And that's one of the reasons why I treat everybody with the same amount of respect and love that they deserve. We're all human beings.
yeah,
We're all creators,
Mhm.
made in the image of the creator.
Mhm.
And as a result, just be nice.
Kindness is a second second what's the word? I can't remember. It's second guess, really. It's just second guess to everything
Second
else.
nature.
It's second nature, second guess, sort of like the black sheep of the family, really. I was trying to find the wording, but it was almost there. But anyway, any help with engagement helps with that, and of course, I have a link down below as well. Leads to my X, leads to my email, leads to my Discord DM. But I just DM. I don't really have a server. But all in all, that leads to if you'd like to take up the opportunity to come on yourselves, well, guess what? There's a comment section down below, or there's a that link as well. And again, over 180 different people, because again, it shows you that the need and what.
It's now 260 people because there's about 80 characters that live in my head. So you just
Oh,
doubled your numbers.
oh goodness. Whew, man,
Oh,
260
can you imagine
characters.
being able to impersonate about 80 different voices? Yeah, I know. It's pretty crazy. Oh, they kill me.
And you add more to it, and you might lose one behind. But it's always the fun you have along the way, and that's the important part. So any help with the engagement factor and link down below. I appreciate you all. And of course, because I do little things differently, I end the show with first of all, what is it? Oh, that's right. Tomorrow, just to make sure, tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. I will be on a gentleman I've had on before, Iron Oxide's show.
That's a good cat.
Yeah, he and his wife. I've had his wife on as well. Selena, Scream Queen Selena. She's one of a kind. Very lovely, very lovely. But I'll be on their show 8:30. I think it was 8:30 p.m. tomorrow. So there won't be any show on my end, but I'll be over there because they were looking for people last month. It was like, all right, I guess, and there we go. So
Well, refer me to a venue, and as long as it's a venue that I work at. If I got the slot open, I'd like to say hi to Iron. I haven't had a chance to really say hi to him yet.
Well, I don't know if they're still looking. They were sending out a thing at X, like we're looking for people to come on as guests. So
I think I saw that. I just didn't jump on it in time. I don't think. Oh,
yeah, they were looking for April and May. So I'm not sure if they filled it up, but I just said hello. But I don't get any special treatment, so there's that. I just said hello. But yeah, that'll be tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. And of course, the last thing I like to do with my guest, and I hope you're ready for it. It's called Questions from Hat. And so what I did is I bought a Rumble hat and I filled it with questions. And so
tip of the hat. How adorable.
yeah, so well, part of it is inspired by Questions from a Hat, if you've ever seen that. Whose line is it anyway? But regardless, so what happens is that my guest, you get 2 freebie questions. Now, obviously, I'm not monetized on YouTube, so sorry guys, but I am on Rumble. So if you want to take more than the 2 questions of the hat, you have to give a rant for it, like $1, 500, doesn't matter which one, as long as it's a rant, because that's the way the game goes. So I'm going to pull the first question out of the hat, and no, there are no rabbits. I checked beforehand. Okay.
Jeez. No rabbits, folks.
It's rabbit. You just put a sticker that says rabbit.
Well,
friendly.
Rocky, I was expecting a rabbit.
All right, let's see what question we come up with. Now, these are questions anyone can answer, but I have had some stumpers, so there's that. All right, here's the first one. And the question is, what's the best? Well, I think you've already answered this, but we'll do a radiation. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
The best piece of advice I ever received.
Yes.
Don't fist android girls.
Ooh. Ugh, that comes with its own territory of issues, that's for sure.
This has been Mr. Stark, and this has been The More You Know.
Especially when they're plugged into the wall, that's real dangerous.
Correct. Oh yeah. Not only it's not just the PSI, but also the electrical charge that'll fuck you. You want to keep playing. You want to keep playing, tickling the ivories. Last thing you want to do is fist an android girl.
No. If you want to keep tickling the ivories, the last thing you want to do is be tickled in the ivories. If you catch my drift,
There you go.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. All right, here's question number 2, unless someone gives a rumble rant, and let's see what it says. Usually they're easy ones, and sometimes there are big ones. All right, well, this is up to you, but what's the weirdest dream you've ever had?
Well. I'm talking to somebody who got to learn how to lucid dream a little bit. I guess I could regale on one of the first dreams that I was able to direct, produce, and act in. Back at the old house before I moved to my apartment, which is 30 some odd years ago.
Right.
I woke up and went outside, and there was helicopters, and because we lived close to a military base.
Okay.
Helicopters, jets, and like UFOs flying around. Like just silver discs. It was an all-out alien invasion. And so I run back inside the house and I grab a colander of all things. Now, by colander, I mean it's one of those like variable strainer noodle colanders that looks like a satellite dish when they're open.
Yeah.
I guess I had the imagery reference from Small Soldiers because that's how they had that deep field scanner on their vehicle that connected up, that like had that Gestalt form where they all linked up. But I got some random circuits. I soldered a board as the war was going on outside.
Right.
And I designed just a ramshackle piece of equipment. And I go back out there and I flip the switch on it. And it brings one of the ships down into the driveway. And I got my dad's shotgun. I hop onto the disc, and as the slot opens on the top for the pilot, pick him up with one hand. I blow his head off, and I throw the body to the side, and I get in the saucer. And it's like it was a red and orange looking like it looked like candy. Like, it's like there was very alien display. So I was fucking around with it. I still felt the veering of the ship as I tried to take off in it. And so I take off in it. I got the shotgun behind the seat. And I fly up, taking out a few as I go, all the way to like this Doomsday Machine looking mothership. It looked like the Doomsday Machine from the original series. It had the big opening in the front with like it was like a mouth, and I flew in there and I docked and I stepped out and I started killing aliens. And I had like just a few shells left, and so they started like coming out with their energy weapons. So I was Duke Nukeming my happy ass all the way through the ship.
Nice.
Plow! And then, vaporizing this fucker, plowing that motherfucker, just like cleaning house. Cleaning house. I go to the control deck of the ship. I kill the captain. I go to the console. I look for a big red button. Lo and behold, there's a big red button. I hit that motherfucker like my ex. Okay, pounded it like a quarterback on prom night. Then I turn tail and I run. Okay, all the way back to the ship, to the one that I hijacked. I get back in it. I stow away my free alien gun and a few energy cells of it. And I fly back down as the ship's exploding.
Mm-hmm.
All of the military guys start like kicking all the other aliens' asses, and I land. I actually successfully land the ship with landing gear in the driveway.
Right.
And I get out of that thing, and I'm covered in like orange shit, green shit,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I walk up onto the porch, and I go in through the front door, and I holler, "Ma, what's for supper?" That's how the dream ended.
Well, I hope it was a good meal. Otherwise, that would have been a very bad dream ending.
I don't remember the meal. It ended as I said, "Ma, what's for supper?"
Yeah, that would have been
Single-handedly saves the world. Doesn't even care.
spaghetti again.
Spaghetti!
Oh my goodness! No, that was pretty. That is a dream unto itself. That I don't know if I call that the weirdest dream, but it certainly is. It's a
It
dream
was
and a
weird
half.
enough for me to walk into the kitchen covered in alien goo, saying, "What's for supper?"
No, that's true though. That is true. And then they're asking, "Why are you covered in this alien goo?"
No, everybody, the shit was on the news and shit. Alien mothership destroyed and whatnot. You know, hearing it on the TV.
Yeah, that's still quite a dream though. I usually just have dreams of falling through space. Those are not the fun ones.
You're talking to somebody who has been. Let's just go through the motions here. Tonight on Tony's Horrible Nightmares, we understand just how he dies. Tony has also been executed by one of the many but not exclusive ways. He has been shot, skewered, stabbed, froze to death, burned alive, eaten alive by zombies, eaten alive by a giant. Whole and alive, ladies and gentlemen, whole and alive. He's also been ran over by possessed vehicles, chopped up in a combine harvester. He has also been, and this is a really scary one, ripped and turned inside out. But the most terrifying way Mr. Stark has perished is he has faced down the barrel of a thermonuclear device detonating over the military base that he lived next to not once, not twice, but 3 times, folks. That's right. Don't watch science fiction movies and eat ice cream when you're young and then go to bed thinking you're going to have a good time.
And then the story ended with him like, "What time is it again?" Wait, how did I get back in the stream? What the? That's how you end it right there.
That's when I said enough was enough. That's
when you walked off.
Lucid dreaming experiences was when I was real little.
Yeah.
I wanted to get the Alien Queen playset, the 12-inch tall one that came with the Ripley that had like the egg and it was a display stand. It was one of the Kenner toys. And I was at a Toys R Us and I grabbed a hold of one and I knew it's like I was in the back of my head. I says, I know this is a dream, but maybe I can Freddy Krueger this shit. So as I started to wake up, I was holding on to it with every fiber of my subconscious focus. I woke up and I felt my hand wrapped around something. I was like, oh, I pull up the covers and it's my fucking knee. The way kids learn how reality works.
It's like taking one kneecap to the reality.
And it's like I was like, I got my toy. I don't even need to go buy him anymore. I'm just holding onto my knee. Great.
The dream is nothing. Right. The dream is nothing but a wish we all wish to have. Unfortunately, sometimes the dream ends. But
hail to the great Danny Cantress. I hope that you were thoroughly entertained. And if you're here late, please consider rewinding. And
Danny Cantress. Yeah, Toys R Us. Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Toys R Us, man. They were good for a while. Then their business wasn't properly run, and then they went.
And if you got a friend group, I am 12 people away from 1,500. Please, if you like variety, entertainment, game shows, impersonations, parody songs, general punditry and news, and all so much more, and then consider subscribing to yours truly. Shameless plug number 4 today.
Number 4? I thought you'd have reached number 5 already.
No, no. The third one, the fifth one was the one that you allotted me to do, where I brought out Alistor for the radio commercial.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. I just thought that was part of your ordeal. See? There you go. Take a look. It's in a book, Reading Rainbow. But anyway, so how I end my show is I play, of course, you already saw the first music, it's a video, which is done by Pogo. And for those who don't know, you can find his link to his channel down below. He makes all sort of stuff, samplings and whatnot, and I enjoy his work. But something happened in like the past with some social media, and he's gone quiet for quite some time. So sad as it is, I still enjoy his work. And I also don't get hit with copyright strike on YouTube. So there is that. But anyway, I end with, let me find it first. Otherwise, I'm going to be, okay. I end with One Day With You by Pogo. Hope you all have a great rest of your day. And to give the Stark a Stark look, if you will.
Actually, we'll give you one of these.
I try. I really do.
You can check them out at the Chuckle Hut at 10 p.m. every Thursday night for open mic night if you want more comedy gold, just like that.
Like searching, like what's that thing they do? Like panning for gold in the river not so far from here. But anyway, One Day With You by Pogo. Hope to see you tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. on Iron Oxide Show. Should be a great time. I don't know what's going to happen though, so pray for me. But anyway, see you tomorrow, guys. Bye.
Bye. Have a wonderful time.
Yep.